welcome back to Super Smash Lesbians, the show that makes promises lies. I'm AJ, and today will be the final episode of the 3-part summary for Super Smash Lesbians Ultimate Seasons 1 through 4. This video will be all about Season 4, which is actually the first new material I've created following the 4 podcast episodes from December of 2020. Everything that I have mentioned in these last few videos were all story events that I already had in mind during my fall semester of my junior year in college. But now, we're entering new horizons with the spring semester, with a fresh new season to discuss. So before I discuss Season 4, how does it begin? I forgot. Oh yeah, that happened. I mentioned this briefly in the character role video that Felicia Hardy, Black Cat, would play the Sephiroth role for Smash Lesbians, despite the fact that she was already playing the Joker role, another Smash DLC character. My reasoning was mostly based on a 2019 Shareverse storyline where Felicia was the main antagonist and always was in the background pulling the strings, even having the final confrontation with her bearing parallels to the final match between Cloud and Sephiroth from FF7. Also the fact that both characters wear black clothing and have long white hair. Yeah. So the Season 4 premiere, which aired on December 17th, thanks Sakurai for the Sephiroth challenge, was all about Felicia winning pretty much every fight that she attended, all except for one. Now, Felicia hated Rex, absolutely despised him because he was so optimistic that he could potentially get in Smash. So in their fight, Felicia tossed Rex around like a rag doll, resulting in him losing in his first official match on his quest to become DLC. But she wasn't done just yet with him, as she immediately requested a rematch with him, just to drive the point that he will never get in Smash. She was gonna kill the poor bastard. However, her arrogance got the best of her, and Rex barely came out on top in the end, killing her in the process. Rex won, but something didn't feel right. I asked him what was up when he was in the recovery center, and he said that maybe this wasn't worth his time. Keep in mind, Rex really doesn't care if he gets in Smash Bros or not, and the fight with Felicia was basically a reality check on what he's really doing on the show. Both me and Pyra and Mithra began thinking of other ways Rex could get in, or at least compromises. Nia would have been a good replacement, same goes for Laura and Jin, or Adam and Mithra from the Torna expansion, but no one really could come up with a good answer. Rex continued to be part of the DLC crew, the only member left actually, and wanted to stick it out to the end. Unfortunately, a good amount of Season 4 consisted on 2-on-2 team battles, and needless to say, they were all boring, especially since 1 or 2 of the 4 Dragon Ball moms always won these battles. This really was the lowest point of the show in my opinion. Although January 15th, 2021 marked the 5-year anniversary of the very first Super Smash Lesbians event, and to celebrate, we had the original 18 to 19 employees from the first event participate in a tournament to see who's going to come out on top and which one has gotten the most strong since the very beginning. The next big episode that I want to talk about is actually the mid-season finale. Now, a little context should be needed. In the 2016 storyline, Blood of F-Zero, I participated in a tournament hosted by Starla where I had to fight a handful of members from her organization. This was called the Unipop Tournament, based off of the pornographic puzzle game that you can get on Steam right now. But instead of having sex with these members, I had to fight them, and it was horrible because I got my ass kicked all the time. However, the tournament never really concluded since the final battle would lead into the finale of the much bigger storyline, Units. I'm bringing this up because in February of 2021, Unipop 2 was released, and I was pretty much drafted into entering the second tournament Starla hosted, yet again. Now, Unipop 2 is, well, it's not as good as the first, but the stakes were much higher for me because rather than fighting one member of the F-Zero organization, I had to fight 2 of them for each fight, with no help at all. Not only that, I was heavily bent out of shape in these fights, and I had to adapt to them once more. You could say,
I've lost my mojo!
Thankfully, I had Zero as a coach for the tournament, so I could focus on how I was able to beat my opponents all those years ago. Why is this important to Smash Lesbians, you may ask? Well, it's because the last few fights of the tournament were held on the same day as the mid-season finale, February 13th. and because neither Zero or I were on set, Starla hosted the episode. Though her days of setting up death matches and brutally killing employees for no reason were far past her, Starla had an even more villainous idea. At the end of the episode, Starla would have made a special announcement hiring more members of the F-Zero organization to portray secondary roles for Smash Lesbians, one of which being Ann Carter, playing a secondary role for Pokemon Trainer, whose alternate form, Hannah, would have been Charizard of the bunch, has a power level equally as strong as Samus in her base form. I could not let that happen at all. Thankfully, I was able to defeat the remaining members, and me and Zero pretty much bolted back into the studio, preventing Starla from hiring anyone new on the show. Both me and Starla would have her fight in the parking lot as she pulled out a new move on me. She called it Puppet Show, where she would sit on the floor and control members of the organization and began to attack me all at once. So I pretty much had to fight everyone from the tournament again. Eventually, I was able to defeat the controlled members, walked up right to Starla, and punched that bitch in the face, ending the fight. I went to bed a happy man, while Zero accidentally left X and the 4 Guardians at a pool for over 3 hours that day. Thankfully, he was forgiven, and the two kissed.
Oh yeah, baby, let me get some of those tits.
A few days later, Nintendo would announce a Nintendo Direct featuring the next DLC character for Fighter Pass 2. But by then, Smash Lesbians Ultimate went on a 2-week break and wouldn't come back until the day the DLC character came out.
Fucking magnets, how do they work?
The night before the Direct aired, there was a disturbance at Universal Orlando. It was John causing chaos, battling the Astrosol employees for seemingly no reason. By this point in Shareverse, he wasn't working for the Viacom alignment, but rather for the Disney one. Katana found out about what was going on through a distress call, and the two engaged in a small battle. When she asked why he was attacking and destroying his former workplace, he said he was only training for the next DLC character, and then he left. So at this point, nobody was really sure who or what would have been the next DLC character for Smash, and at that point, people were starting to become paranoid. But in the end, I think we can all agree nobody expected who was gonna come out next. Not even me. The second half of the season would air on March 4th, a day that was planned to be the greatest episode of the show. Not only would there be a new character released on that day, but it also marked the 5-year anniversary for Super Smash Lesbians Melee. I wanted to go all out for Melee. Rather than using Ultimate's engine, this tournament would use Project Plus, a brawl mod that imitates Melee's engine and some characters. So the participants for this tournament included the original employees from Super Smash Lesbians Melee, any other roles that we missed from Melee, such as Ganondorf and Roy, and the Brawl roles, because remember, this is a Brawl mod, so you're going to get stuff like Ike and Olimar. Secondary roles for the characters were also allowed. You're about to find out why soon. But first, I need another refresher. How did Season 4 Part 2 begin?
I got an invitation to join Smash!
Oh yeah! That happened! Now before you say, Rex failed his quest, he didn't get into Smash. No, shut up, shut up, shut up. He still technically got in Smash. He's got it better than so many other characters that dreamed of getting in. This is the best outcome for Rex, in my opinion. A pretty good compromise, since he was starting to drift away from the quest after the fight with Felicia. He is literally the crumb of Smash Ultimate, and look what happened to him. Am I saying Rex will be playable in the next game? I honestly don't know, and really I don't care. I was put through so much hell that it's a miracle that this has happened, and I don't want to go through the same torture again. And for all of you other Smash players who really want to see your characters in the game, don't give up hope. You'll get rewarded when you least expect it. It happened to me, it can certainly happen to you. To close out this mini tangent, I started the second half of the season with words I've been waiting to say for almost 1.5 years now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Super Smash Lesbians Ultimate. I'm your host AJ, and I want to welcome our 3 newest and official members, Rex, Pyra, and Mithra. It was truly a magical way to start the episode. A shame the tournament itself was a disappointment.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
So, remember how I said the tournament utilized the Project Plus engine? Well, not everyone was able to adapt to it. So you had characters who I thought would destroy the competition, such as Ryuko, Satsuki, Yan, Steven, and even Astoria. Many of them could not adapt to the more slippery controls. Many stocks in this tournament were lost to air dodging, which in this engine was an instant KO. Hell, even Satsuki got 4 stocked by Nozomi in under a minute. But that was not the only embarrassment in this tournament. I briefly mentioned that secondary roles were allowed and rotated with each round, except for one. Project Plus features a new character, Knuckles, a role that was played by Jean since it was more convenient because Asia plays Sonic and yeah, it's more convenient. Unbeknownst to everyone except for me, Jean for Knuckles wasn't really Jean. It was the T-3000. Yeah, I know, I'm pretty much a simp for the guy. Anyway, the original plan was John would pose as Jean until the semifinals, where he would reveal himself. If he won in the finals, he would become a permanent member of the show, being a secondary role for the Sephiroth role. Now, don't get me wrong, Felicia was a good Sephiroth, but in hindsight, John was a much better candidate. Insanely fast and strong, all of his special attacks could be his nanobots. Sephiroth's one-winged gimmick can be John's T-3000 endoskeleton, and oh yeah, a shirtless alternate costume. However, it didn't even matter anyway, because John, as Jean, got eliminated in the first round to Kobayashi. One of the most normal Astro Souls in the show just defeated a Terminator, a machine with a frying pan and a manhole cover. Absolutely pathetic. But oh, that wasn't the worst part of the tournament. No, that would be in the finals. Now, before I go any further, I want to make one thing clear. I hate Elsa. She is a terrible person. Like, okay, sure, Steven getting psychological and mental help in order to become a better person in society, I can respect that. And I need Starla in order to help run the show for me. But I have no intrigue or interest or any attachment to Elsa. She actually is a horrible person. Thanks to Frozen 2, she pretty much ditched her kingdom to die by the hands of her sister, who has zero experience in ruling a monarch on her own, so that Elsa can live in the woods with a fire salamander, rock giants, a water unicorn, and a literal pile of leaves, believing in a religion that she didn't even know existed for over 24 hours. In addition, we know next to nothing about her. Her hobbies, her dislikes, her likes. Aside from chocolate and honest cooch, we don't even know what her ice powers can fully do because apparently she can materialize clothes from her ice powers. Her ice powers! And even after she is accepted in Arendelle at the end of Frozen 1, Frozen 2 comes around and retcons everything from that movie because Elsa likes being a bitch. In conclusion, fuck you, Chris Buck and Jennifer Lee, for making this character when you knew damn well she was an incomplete character. Fuck you, Disney, for greenlighting the character, not even bothering to tell Buck or Lee, hey, your character is still in its rough draft phase. And most importantly, fuck you, Elsa, for being such a shitty character to what could have been a somewhat decent modern Disney film. And I'm only saying this because she won the tournament! This son of a bitch was able to defeat every person that she faced and won. Her opponent in the finals were Hero and Zero 2, a couple whose alien race evolved into Martians on Mars, a couple who spent a year flying in the empty voids of space to blow up a planet-invading race, a couple who killed the T-3000 without the need of magnets, an achievement that very few people in Shareverse have ever accomplished. The same couple lost to Elsa. At least Rosalina, who also hates her, got to beat her ass in a special bonus round, so Elsa didn't fully win the tournament, but she did win the finals.
This is how you
win the Melee Tourney.
Anyway, at the end of it all, I made an announcement stating that the DLC crew has come a long way since April of 2019, and thus, all members fulfilled their journey to become DLC characters, and I officially disbanded the group. I was basically a free man now, but I did feel kind of empty, so I wanted to work on another impossible trait as my next pet project, which led me to focus on other employees in the production. But sticking back to one, Amir. Spoiler alert for Attack on Titan Season 2 onwards from here on out. So when I hired Amir and Astoria for Smash Lesbians Melee, I didn't think much of it. I basically said, hey look, another lesbian couple, I'm putting that in Smash. The thing was, Attack on Titan happened in Shareverse over 90 years ago, and so many things changed by then. Amir died in the early 1900s, and Astoria went on to marry some farmer guy and had his kid. Which also explains why Amir does not use her Jaw Titan form, because, well, she doesn't have it anymore. And not only that, the two barely, if ever, talk to each other. And the only time I ever known about Amir's death and Astoria's little outbreak was when they first showed up for Smash Lesbians Melee. However, me and Rosalina were not on the event that day, we were at a dinner, so I didn't know about Amir's death for over 5 years, which leads into a problem. When it comes to paychecks, I give everyone an equal amount of money, except for dead people. I give them an extra generous $50 because they took their time out of their day to show up on set. But because I never paid Amir her proper paycheck for almost 5 years, the money I had to pay her back was $2,850. I mean, Amir didn't care about the money, especially since her sentence in Hell's Prison is an eternity. Yeah, she wasn't going to use that money anywhere. And it also didn't help that she played the Little Mac role, one of the worst characters in Smash. I felt really bad for Amir, and I decided to help her get better by putting her into Elite Smash. She didn't care the slightest, but it was something worthwhile that she could do. And it only took us like 2 to 3 weeks just to get into Elite Smash, and Amir got a little more confident, though her relationship with Astoria was still tainted. And those were basically all the big highlights of Season 4. I was a little nervous that I would have to split this video into 2, but I think it's fine just the way it is. The Season 4 finale, which aired on April 25th, was just a normal episode, no tricks. And I think ending it without a big event was kind of a breath of fresh air, especially from the last 3 seasons. As of now, Season 5 has not fully concluded, so don't expect a video on that anytime soon. However, there is one more topic I want to discuss regarding Smash Lesbians before I make a big update video of the state of this channel. Please subscribe if you haven't, so you can know when the next video will be out, as well as the update video. With that, I'm AJ, and I'll see you all in the next one.